Yes, my friends, how are you doing? Muli mutya, mugamba mutya. How are you wherever you are? I'm so delighted because if you've been following on the Jen Somaga show, I told you we are doing series of the Untold stories of the diaspora. And today, briefly, I'm telling you, I'm being hosted by some of my friends who hosted me when I just came in the United States. So you don't want to miss this episode of the Untold stories of the diaspora. Just get relaxed and let us have fun together. Yes, my friends, welcome. I am so excited. Just sit. I'm telling you, you do not want to miss this episode because the people on this show are very, very vital in my life. They make me. So I'm so excited to have them on the show, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we'll start from there.
Hi, I'm Pam, and this is Harvey, and our last name is Lodesh. We live in Brookline, Massachusetts, and we've been hosts for Hospitality Homes for almost 40 years. And that's how we met Jane and Jesse when they came to the United States to seek medical care, when Jane brought Jesse to get medical care for his eyes. Mm-hmm. And they were assigned to live with us.
Yes.
And that's the beginning of our story.
And I'm Harvey Lodesh. Yes. My day job is I'm a professor at MIT in biology and biological engineering, but also I'm on the board of trustees of Boston Children's Hospital. And Hospitality Homes plays a key role in providing housing for families who have children that need extensive medical care in Boston.
Yes. So yes, you've heard their names. This is how if I can go there. How many years have you been married?
Next year will be 60 years.
60
We're
years
getting old.
In marriage?
Marriage, yes.
Wow, 60 years in marriage, guys. So if you're there and you're like, marriage is so hard, I can't make it. Look at this couple, 60 years in marriage. Oh my goodness. We better work on our lives and get to you guys.
Well, we have 3 wonderful children, and in the 1980s, they were home, and that's when we started hosting Hospitality Homes.
Okay.
You know, one of the reasons we did it is we lived then in a large house in Brookline, which had several extra rooms and bathrooms so we could accommodate visitors. But also, we wanted our children to see that not everyone lived the life that we live, and that they would have the opportunity of meeting people from different parts of the United States, or you and your son who came from different countries.
Or different circumstances. And one of the most wonderful things, as far as I'm concerned, is that our children grew up and learning saw that we as an example set for them to care for other people. And they all ended up in jobs where that really was meaningful.
You just passed it to another generation.
And that's really, I think, very important gift you can give to your children in the future generations.
Yes.
It's not just to take, but to give as well.
Yes.
And interestingly, our son and his wife, who live in Portland, Maine, they have 3 children. 2 are out of the house, and they just took into their house a young man from Angola.
Wow.
Who came to the United States on his own.
Undocumented.
Wow.
And he now has lived with them, graduated from high school, is going to the local junior college, and
they're helping him get his immigration straightened out and get a green card eventually.
Wow, that's so beautiful. So now I really want, just going back to me, because I'm thinking when you guys hosted me, right? You had never got someone from Africa.
Yeah, you're right. That's correct.
So how was that when you see me coming in, how was that experience to you?
I think, for example, it wasn't as difficult as you might have imagined for us to imagine it, because we're very fortunate we've traveled.
Yes.
And I've been to Africa, not to Uganda where you were from, but
Yeah.
I'd been to Kenya and Tanzania
Yes.
before I even met you.
Yes.
So I kind of had a vague idea of what
Yes.
your life might have been like.
Yes.
And I've had many students at MIT from various African countries. At our house, we've had people from other foreign countries as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
And I've been privileged at MIT to have students from 60 or 70 countries. So you're just another family
Yes.
that landed in Boston
Yes.
with a sick child
Yeah.
and needed some help getting around. But other than that,
Yeah.
there was no particular
But I remember
problem.
when you first came, you had thought you could find a better solution for Jesse's eyesight than you actually ended up with. You got a better diagnosis, but not a better solution.
Yes.
And at the same time, you were planning to go back to Uganda. And I remember buying you a computer.
Oh, yes.
Because
you remember, let me tell you something. So I was in the room, right? And then Pam comes and it's like, Jen, I got a surprise for you. So we had a party. You know, you had a party that day in the evening.
Not
The
for
day
you.
before,
Yeah.
it just for I think some people from your Harvey's workplace.
right.
Yeah. So then the following day, you come in my room and you're like, Jen, I think you need to keep communicating with people back home. And so I got a surprise for you. I was like, I don't know what a surprise was. And there you are. You got me my first laptop in the United States.
Right, and that was because at that point you thought you were going back to Uganda.
Yes.
And you the only opportunity you had for internet where you need it in order for medical care for Jesse was to go into the village and go to an internet center. You couldn't even do it at your house.
Yes.
And so I thought, well, you need to be able to start keeping good records.
Yes.
And that would be a way to do it.
A way to do
And
that.
it's something we didn't do for many other people
Yes.
that came through, but it
Yes.
seemed like
Well-
you were going back to your village, and we thought, well, how are you going to manage his care
Yes.
without it?
Yes. That was so beautiful and wonderful. So tell me a little bit about the hospitality home, because this is something I know, like back in Africa where I come from. Yes, we get visitors and all that, but I never saw what hospitality, like unorganized hospitality home thing.
It was started by a woman named Joan Biggers many years ago, when she saw families come to Boston Children's, for example, where the parents were sleeping in the corridors, and that their children were there for long periods of time, and she felt that wasn't right. So she, through one of the churches in the beginning, recruited other families and started a nonprofit. That our main mission is to provide housing for families that come to Boston for medical care, and we provide housing for all over: Mass General, Beth Israel, Brigham and Women's, whatever. I mean, there's for anyone who needs it. Because of medical reasons, that we can provide housing to help them. It's been particularly difficult during COVID, so
Yes.
we've gotten some funding to do some hotels.
Yes.
But we're back to we're starting to host again. And it's really, families often have, even from foreign countries, the government in foreign countries will send their people to have their heart transplants or really exotic medical treatments.
Yeah.
But their families don't have any money to buy food
Yes.
or
It's
a
true.
place to stay. And so
Yes.
that's really what hospitality homes can do. They don't
Can do.
they don't supplement the
Personally,
medical. Yeah.
I really wanted to come, and when you said, because when I came and stayed with you for a while, and then my husband came and joined us. It's been 7 years since we last saw you guys. 7 years, because when you invited me this time, I was like, wait a minute, I need to go and with the viewers, tell them how wonderful you people were. Because I'm telling you, hosting someone is not just giving them a room. It's not just the food. You're giving your lives to that person. And you guys did. I wonder how you do it.
Well, it's something my mother Shirley didn't do. She thought we'd be arrested.
No, you really give her the microphone. I really want to hear that.
She never understood how you could possibly. Every time she came to visit us from Ohio, there was a different person staying in our house. And she just didn't understand why we would do it. But I felt like we needed to do something to give back. And we continue to do charitable things. I'm on the board of the mental health center in our community now. But it's really, really important that if more people did that, we'd have a lot less trouble in the world.
Yes,
I'm convinced of that.
Yes,
and
it's
so
true.
we do it in our small way. It's a very small thing we can do to provide, if we have an extra room to provide housing.
Mr. Harvey, you said that that's the way you're rewarded. What were you exactly telling me previous?
Well, it's a reward to see Jesse now, who was 5 years old when he came, to be a tall, handsome, articulate young man
Yes.
who is graduating from high school and
yes.
has a career in front of him.
Yes.
I mean, that is the reward, but
Yes.
it's a very similar reward to what I see from my students at MIT,
Yes.
many of whom come from countries
Various
like
places.
Uganda
Yeah.
and other low and middle income countries and thrive at the highest level of science.
Yes.
And many go home, some
Yes.
stay in the United States, but they all make major contributions. And this is the reward we have is seeing young people thrive.
Yes. I'm telling you, can never go wrong when you give back to someone. I always tell people that in any way we can create a difference, in any way. If it's opening up your home for someone, if it's giving, you go sweep for someone their yard, if you're helping with trash, taking away trash, any way you can, you are a blessing. So my viewers, you don't want to stop being a helper or giving back to the communities, because just look at these beautiful people doing all that. For people they don't know, I'm telling you, when I sit with them, even it gets emotional, because those were very hard moments for me. You know, I didn't know you guys. I had never lived with a white family. Maybe some few missionaries who came and we did missionary work, but I lived with you in your home. We don't speak the same language. Of course, I speak English, but different accent. But you were so beautiful people, giving me anything I wanted. I felt like I was with mom and dad. I felt so loved. And I'm telling you, I took that from you, that I keep, I added on what I already knew. And I always feel like I should give back to others. And that's what we should be doing, right?
We all should. We all should.
We all should do,
Absolutely.
Belinda.
I agree.
Yes,
I agree.
yes. Is there anything? You have children. You said you have 3 of them.
We have
We have 3 adult children.
3 adult children.
7 grandchildren.
And
There's
7 grandchildren.
And 7 ages 17 to 24.
Yes. Yeah. Can you hear that? I mean, these people, and I remember, Pam, you when I was staying with you, you went and found a school for Jesse.
We did.
Yes.
You had moved up to another
town in
another
Wuban.
town.
Yes.
And you were taken in by the Ugandan church.
Yes.
And you were there temporarily at that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And I said to her, you have to put him in school. I do.
Yeah.
I said, of course.
Yeah.
So I called the superintendent of schools, and he was signed. He entered right away into
Right
the school
away.
system, entered into special ed,
Yes.
and they helped him
Yeah.
because he has issues of eyesight.
Yeah.
They helped him.
Yeah.
Enter the system and have the right support.
Yeah, and you always said, you know, we are in progress, and there we are progressing. I love the way you guys do your thing. Like, I'm telling you, every time we get an opportunity to live with people, we should get a chance to learn something from them, right?
Absolutely.
You guys are always going.
We're
You're
energetic.
going. You're
still.
very
But
energetic.
thankfully, we're still healthful enough that we can be.
I can imagine you. Mr. Javier is planning to go to Ghana, to Uganda, to Liberia to go teach in those universities there. That's so beautiful of you guys.
Absolutely.
And I love you so much.
Thank you so much. We are
Well,
so
thank
happy
you.
to be able to spend
Yes.
the day with you today.
Yes.
And again, our reward are seeing your whole family.
Yes.
You're now American citizens.
Yes, we are fellow Americans.
You're all citizens.
Yes.
It's the immigrant success story, very seriously.
Yes, yes.
You're a nurse.
I am
Your
a nurse.
husband works for the state.
For the state, yes.
You have 3 children
Yes.
who are going to make contributions to the United
Yes,
States.
yes.
That's the other part of our reward.
I mean, I can't say enough thanks, because you deserve all those rewards.
But-
and we
But you
really
deserve a
appreciate-
lot of praise as well, because I have met few people who were as determined as you were to get on with things and to figure out how to be make things happen. This mother's love. I mean, man, you were going to get out of Uganda with nothing on your back, but you were going to make sure that the best opportunities were available for your child. So we are respectful of you as well.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Harvey, Pamela, Lodish. You guys are my favorite. I usually tell, if you've not watched my video about the dog, when I was talking about facing your fears, and I talked about a big dog. That dog was called
A Bernese Mountain Dog.
Yes, and it's
Cassie.
So, I mean, we should just love those beautiful moments when we go to places. And I was fearful of that dog, but then I had to be fearless again to
Absolutely.
Yes. So I'm telling you, there is a lot of stories that they are untold. And when you get a chance to listen to one of them like this one, hey, just sit and relax and have a moment of inspiration. I love you guys, and I'm so privileged to be part of my life now, forever.
That's good.
Thank you.
Hey, God bless.